the capital steps, like run up and then down and then around and then up and then down and around. Just keep on doing that for a while. But they got some kind of a food market or a farmer's market or something going on. I don't know if they do that every Saturday or if it's a special day. It's very annoying. But so I just kind of ran, intertwined the streets, and then I didn't really know where I was, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep running around until I see the hotel again, and then I'll go to the hotel. Luckily, I found the hotel.
Didn't get lost. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm really bad with like just knowing where I am. I'm not great with the directions.
How was the heat? Was it really
cold?
Tough?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to run with my shirt off, but I couldn't justify it because it was. I mean, I think I'd have frostbite.
That's
it's actually very, very nice though. Like as far as just being out there, it's very, very nice weather.
Yeah,
I need to run in the middle of the day.
Well, I hit the cold plunge this morning, so I feel good. Awake now. So, Derek, you did a nasty workout.
Yeah, I feel horrible. Echo bike and dumbbell thrusters. I was thinking. So,
but
I'm here
in an alley.
So, got a couple things. Going to start off. Somebody sent me a timestamp that needed to be brought up. John, I don't think you're going to like this too much, but we'll see. We'll
listen.
Here we go.
Can I explain this, please?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, play it. Go ahead.
Then you can. For my final podium, I'm really struggling between Roman, Hopper, and Quant.
And Adler. Oh, Quant.
I already have Adler in second.
Quant's not going to podium.
Why?
Quant is not going to be on the podium.
Why do you think he has a shot? Why does he not have a shot?
Where is he better than Hopper or Roman? Where?
Well, he's better than Hopper last year.
Tell me where.
He's just
right now. Where is he better? Anything. Give me anything, Brian. Okay. Well, you got a lot of data to give me now. So next time I ask you that, you should have information to argue with.
I got there. He's more well-rounded.
Well, if we want to bring up all the clips where I'm right and y'all are wrong, we'd be here all day. So I'm not. I'm glad you got a clip where you got.
That's right. I have to use it when I can.
Hey, you're in the running to win the Heat app right now.
That's a good point. Yeah, I am in second place out of 4,000 in the shot caller picks. So just saying, if you want to know how to do well in that, maybe listen to my picks for the 5K interval. That's going to be a little bit of a stretch, but we'll get to that later. Hopper, John. Oh, I don't know what to say, man.
I don't know either, man. I'm kind of looking at him. I thought about this the other day because whenever I said Chandler Smith's so hit or miss, he's such a wild card because he either does really good or he's not good at all. I mean, Hopper's floating in that category right now. I mean, if you look at it, like his rookie year, he made a ton of mistakes and he was 19th, and you could chalk that up to mistakes. But then he gets 7th, and then he looks like he's been better every step of the way this year. And like I would argue in semifinals, he was convincingly better than Roman. And these workouts so far have suited Roman, and Roman should be where he's at. Roman's performing where he should, and he's a freaking cyborg with things. He could do things nobody else can do. But Hopper has not been at the level that he should be. And I don't know why. I'm not going to buy the sick card because all of the hard work pays off athletes are like that right now. You can't really say they're hurt because they all can't be hurt. So like, I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. I'm mind boggled by it. They're doing a documentary on this year, right?
I mean, I'm sure they're doing something for it. Yeah.
I mean, they need to be like, what went wrong with hard work pays off. Like, cause it's like a crazy year. They all look so good in semifinals.
Yeah.
I mean, Katrin looked like the fittest she's ever been, and she's not doing bad. But we thought she'd be top 10, and she very well could still be top 10. It's
Well, we were
fine.
talking about podium potentially, like as strong as she was.
Yeah.
Y'all were, but
Well,
Barnhart,
some others were.
though,
I didn't have her there, but
Yeah.
I mean that wasn't the conversation that she was a dark horse to get there.
and Barnhart might redeem herself, but I mean she's been just as bad as Hopper. Just decided not to phone it in on Helena like Hopper did, and I have no explanation for it. I really don't. I'm hoping I don't even know what could come out that would explain it. You know what I mean? Like I'm waiting for an explanation, but I don't even know what could explain it.
Is it logical peak too early, overtrained John out of that
It
camp?
I don't think
It don't matter, man.
they're smart enough not to do
they're
that.
fit enough. One, they're smart enough. They got Matt. Matt's there. Like Matt was literally the smartest dude that did it, and he just happened to be the fittest guy that did it too. They're too good. Like Hopper could run a marathon and not be 31st place. They're too good to finish where they're finishing. Like
So does it speak
everything we've
more
seen before.
so does it speak more for rest of the field then? If it's not an HWPO thing, is it just that the rest of the field has gotten that much better?
No.
No, they're better than everybody that's beating them. I like it does not. I don't know. I cannot explain it. But okay, you're telling me Ant Haynes is better than Hopper. No offense, Ant. You're killing it, Ant. I hope you make it, Ant. You're gonna crush this 5K. You're doing amazing. 1 week's notice, and you're in the top 30. Ant Haynes, probably the best probably the best year he's ever gonna have as far as an individual. You're telling me Ant Haynes on any given day is better than Hopper. I don't think Ant Haynes on his best day and Hopper on his worst day is better than. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
I think it's more of the whole high tide lifts all ships, right? So it's not any singular athlete such as Ant, but it's like looking at at least the top 5, 6, 7, like they're all, studs, right? Like, so I'm just wondering if it's not something that we can point to at the HWPO camp. Is it the rest? Is it the rest of the field? Is it?
I lean more towards the camp than the field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because semifinal, they wouldn't have been that in semifinal. You don't get that much better in 3 months.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were head over heels better than everybody at semifinal. I thought Hard Work Pays Off had the best semifinal performance, and I think everybody would agree with that. That's why we expected so much of them. We were singing their praises over and over, and it's like a complete shift in 3 months. Statistically, yes, and at least this.
So yeah, I see in the comments. I definitely had it queued up to discuss. We'll kind of get back to the men's side, but right here, Kelly Baker. She was 31st. She missed qualifying for the top 30 by 5 points. But as you see here, plot twist, another day to fight. She was notified late last night after thinking she wasn't going to make it by CrossFit that she is now going to be able to compete. An athlete withdrew. So the 31st athlete is now in. So Kelly will be in the 5K. That athlete is Ellie Turner. So Ellie Turner did withdraw after the last event last night. So, I mean, you see this is at 11 o'clock at night that Kelly got this message. So they are letting Kelly be the 30th athlete. And so Ellie is out. She will not be competing today, but Kelly will be filling in for her. So I think good move on CrossFit for letting Kelly continue. It is a little bit interesting though. Like they made this exception for her, but then you look at CrossFit Believe and the guy that busted his face and not allowed to have an alternate. So I know there's a rule for that and CrossFit has discretion, but it seems like they're a little bit, not unhappy with what Kelly gets to go in and compete. I wish that Believe would have had the opportunity.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, but I mean, I think it's more, like there wasn't a rule in place that Kelly couldn't, and there was a rule in place for that team. And at least I don't think they made that exception because Kelly Baker's this big name that everybody wants to see. Like it's not You know what I mean? Like if they made this exception and it was Hopper, then I think you could jump down that road. I legitimately think this is just how they set it up. That's how they want to do it, right? And then maybe next year they'll play, in place a rule. As long as you don't start the event, you can use your alternate, because that's a silly thing. Why they couldn't compete.
Yeah, I see Kelly Baker there in 31st. I mean, I don't know how she'll do today. Obviously, there is some prize money up for grabs there. So, I mean, Kelly does have the opportunity to move up. She has a fantastic day. I mean, she's 199 points.
It's not going to happen, Ryan.
She needs 258. 50 points. I don't think she will, but
it's not going to happen.
She has that possibility. So, she
can work 5K. It's going to be more than 50 points.
I thought she was a decent runner.
Not with this field.
That's fair.
Maybe I'm wrong. I honestly don't know. I'm just assuming.
Yeah. Also, if you follow James Sprague, you see here, dude's hands got torn up.
Mangled.
Now, were a lot of people wearing gloves? Do you know? Because I wonder if gloves could stop this.
So this is from the rope climbs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Because I remember Fraser wearing gloves a lot during rope climb events, and just from watching things, and we're talking about everybody's fingers getting tore up. And I don't recall any of them wearing gloves. I just wonder if gloves would have prevented that.
Did he slip off the rope at some point? Or is that...
No, it just shreds you up, man.
Yeah. Good news for him is you don't need your hands for the 5K.
Absolutely not. And literally, that's probably the only thing he cares about right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the rower will be too much of an issue for him on the intervals tonight either. So until he gets to the barbell, which that's damage control for him.
What if he wore gloves on the barbell?
That'd be awesome.
Like old school weightlifting gloves.
Well, your fingertips are out of the gloves. That wouldn't help you at all. What if he wore those and it didn't
That's
do
what
anything?
I'm saying. Got to protect the palms. Oops.
Question here. Do the points allocations change today? They do. So the points tables do change today. So 30th place gets 0 versus yesterday. 30th place got 10, something like that. Flavius Atius, thank you for the $10. Good morning. Thanks for the great coverage. So appreciate you here, Flavius. All right, today we have on tap, we have a 5K, we have the interval workout, and we have the Olympic total. Derek, the first time we're going to see the a barbell is in the last event, Olympic total. We were talking about a little bit last night at the end of the show. What's your opinion on the balance of this? Like, did we need to see a barbell on here at some point in the first 9 events?
Yeah, I think what I would do is probably draw a distinction between entertainment value and appropriateness of the tests. So from a pure entertainment value, I would have loved to see a barbell in Helena. Like you were saying, John, power snatches would have been barbell power snatches. I think would have made it was still an exciting event. I loved it, but I'm just saying, like, pure entertainment value, I would have liked to see a barbell. I think from the standpoint of like the ability to test the different domains of fitness, I think we've seen a very well-rounded test so far. Other than just barbell cycling. But I mean, we've tested power, we've tested sprints, we've tested long distance, we've tested endurance, tested gymnastics. So I don't think you have to have a barbell to test those particular domains.
Yeah. The one thing, if you look, like, the dumbbell is the only light, moderate weight that they've moved, though.
Are you extra light?
I mean, that's super light, right? But like
for them.
everything else was a heavy implement. I mean, like there was nothing in the bike, obviously, but then the pig is heavy. Then we have gymnastics, alpaca. Those clean and jerks were heavy. The sandbag squats definitely proved to be heavier than we thought, especially for the women. And then we have a non-event with the dumbbell snatches. And then today we don't have any weight until we get to the heavy barbell.
And then we have
Like,
all the weight.
Are we missing something? Like, we don't have a lightweight moved quickly. Like, we don't have 95-pound snatches. We don't have anything at this point. I feel like if there's one gap, that's where we're at so far.
I think as long as the test is balanced, it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like you're being nitpicky with that.
You think?
If the test is balanced, yeah. You don't have to have a barbell to test fitness. Like if you,
I'm just saying anything that's lighter weight. Like we're gonna have 9 tests, 9 events, and only one is a lighter weight movement. I don't care if it's a barbell, whatever. Like
my argument would be like when they cut to 20, who do you think would not have made it had there been a barbell? Had there been a light barbell? Like, can you like tell me a name that
maybe
like, oh,
not.
this person, you know what I mean? And then if there's 2 events with a light barbell on the last day, it all balances out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then and so far it's been very well rounded. I feel like in this is the most well-rounded games like through its entirety. We've always thought the games was like there's always been an argument with the games like after day 2, man, it's real running heavy. It's real like it's like there's this imbalance, and then I feel like this one has really tried to be well balanced the whole way through. And I don't know a year where you could say that. I really don't. Because I mean, there's been years where it's been really bad as far as we're only doing heavy stuff. We're only doing running. Like it's, and then people are getting cut after those events. And it's hard to do that. It's hard to have a well-balanced competition throughout the whole thing. I don't think just because they don't have a barbell makes it like, man, they should have done this. I'm fine with it. I really am. And like, I guarantee there's going to be barbell stuff on the last day. There was not a lot of high power output on the last day or last year. And then the last day it was like all high power, high strength, and Laura Horvath won 3 of the last 4 events. Like that's I think Boz likes that. You know, he likes people making a run on Sunday. And I don't know. As long as the test is well rounded, I don't have a problem with it.
It almost feels like it's go ahead.
If it's not well rounded, then there's a huge problem.
It feels like it's almost like the inverse of last year. Right? Like last year it was the Haley Adams were crushing it, and then Laura came on because it went from the lighter to the heavier power based as the week went on. Are we seeing possibly the opposite to some degree? Like Sunday is, I
think so.
Sunday is you got to move a barbell, you got to go fast. And
well, you look at today. Two of the 3 events favor smaller, bouncier athletes. Like I think like smaller guys are going to do well in the intervals. I really believe so. The big guys do not. That 15 cal row does not give you that much of an advantage where it's who can jump the fastest. And as far as who can jump the fastest or move the fastest, that's always going to be littler guys unless you're too little, right? Like I don't think Mertens is going to do great in that. I hope he proves me wrong. But like I just think athletic 5'9" guys that aren't the biggest will do the best in that particular event. And then the 5K, obviously, the skinnier, smaller people are all going to do great in that. I know James Sprague is not small, but he is skinny. So you get what I'm saying, right? Yep. And then you got the total. So, and the total is complete opposite. That's all big guys. But 2 out of the 3 favor those guys. And then I bet the last day it's going to be CrossFit-y stuff that favors those guys. Yep. And then it'll all be balanced out. And usually Fraser and Tia are the only ones where they were out in front and then they stayed out in front. Every year that's not them, there's always been somebody who got out in front, and then it all came trickling down. They still did great, but like Ricky last year was in front for a lot.
And he had like
And then
almost 100-point lead.
Yeah, was Roman got. Like, Roman's not Ricky. I think Roman's better than Ricky. But last 2 days, though, it all came trickling down, right? Emma Lawson had a lead out in front after day one. It all came trickling down. Justin Medeiros was never leading whenever he won. I forget who was in the lead in 2021. It was somebody, though. It wasn't him.
Yeah, I forget.
But my point is, Fraser and Tia are the only ones who have done. Rich was never in the lead after day one.
No.
Never.
Like they're the only one, and they are, the fittest people we've ever seen. They were great at everything. There wasn't one thing that they were bad at, and then they were bad at. If they were bad at it, they were great the next year.
Yeah, with everything else. Yep.
And they were complete outliers. I don't think we can use them as data for this. So I don't think we see Roman just dominate the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to come back to a thing you said here in a second. Jan Clark, 1999. Really appreciate it. Great insight. Glee, John, just giving you credit. You've been crushing it over the last few months. However, doing pretty much all of these as well as Savon's podcast this weekend makes you the Iron Man of CrossFit media.
Well, thank you, Glee. I appreciate that.
Someone said Hopper would have been in it if there'd been a barbell. It was a joke.
Yeah. Here we go. Another one. LDY 2742499. Most affiliates use a barbell regularly, and it's obvious the leaderboard is off, but it has been well-rounded. This feels a lot like 2018 when Castro said, "Get off, stop using the barbell, use other things," and everybody started using the dumbbell all the time. And I'm wondering if that's kind of the same thing that Bosman is saying, is the barbell is not the end all be all of.
Was that when regionals were all?
It was, yeah,
wasn't a barbell regionals.
2018 was the barbell less regionals.
Well, this is working out great. You know why? Because everybody's going to shift to not barbell, and then it's going to make another shift. So when I make the games, it's going to be all barbell. So it's shaping up perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you even see that with Boz with the gymnastics stuff that he's been programming for a while now. Grabbing stuff from the journal from way back when that, people are just forget about, or they read it at one time when they're, studying for their L1, L2, those types of things. He's bringing that stuff back. So
yeah, it may have been 2017. Either way, yeah, there was that time. It makes me feel like last year when we saw the sandbag implement coming in, like one of my thoughts was, are we moving towards, like, before that 2017, it was barbell, Olympic weightlifting. Castro wanted to get away from that. And now my thought last year was, are we going to a strongman type thing, right? Like that sandbag brought in like strongman type implements when you're to test the strength, right? And now we've seen, the pig's been around, but that's kind of like a strongman implement from the kind of an odd object thing, the sandbag. Savon Stick CHF2, read my name 3 times fast. Derek, I'll give you a shot at that one.
Savon Stick.
Savon Stick. Savon Stick.
Seven stick.
I don't.
Maybe it's too early. I don't.
Yeah, going back to what you were talking about earlier, Colton Mertens. He is
killing
it right now.
Today is
not the day, and that's kind of what I wanted to ask. I don't know why it's not pulling up. He is sitting in 12th right now. We saw him on Helen, man. He those little legs were moving, but that was not easy for him. Do we What did I do? I have no idea what I did. Running potentially a 48-inch box jump or whatever is not going to be great for him. And the lifting is not his strong suit.
He's fine on the lifting.
Where does he finish on
285 snatch and 350 clean and jerk. He's fine on the lifting.
So
he's going to be middle of the back.
Yeah.
I think dude squats 530. He's got the biggest squat in like he's fine on the Olympic lift. Everybody thinks he's little, so he's not, but he snatched 285. That's all that Justin's snatching. That's not up there with the top guys, but it's fine. And then he's clean and jerks like better than I would say the middle of the pack. Like the total, he will be fine. I expect him to be 15, like 12 to 15. 15. 12 to 15. Yeah, 12 it's 30 people. So 12 to 15 in the total. The run, I mean, I would be shocked if he's not bottom 5. Right. But he was sticking in there with those 400s. So, I don't know. Maybe. I know he's been running a lot. It's just there's only so much 5'4" can do. But yeah, it's great that he's got this gap because say he's 13th in the lift, 25th in the run, and
keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay, 22nd in the intervals or something. I don't think he's going to be great in the intervals either. But say he's 22nd there. That's fine. Like he's going to make the top 20 with that, and it's kind of been his MO. Like he is a home run hitter, and then he gets enough points to give him breathing room for the stuff he's not going to be good at, and then he ends up making it like just barely, or he does poorly and then hits a home run in the end, and it makes it to the games. At least in the semifinals, it's his MO. So I think he's fit enough now. Like Colton Mearns has been steadily improving every single year, and we don't really talk about that because he is a home run hitter and it's fun to talk about the other stuff. But every year he's gotten a little bit better if you look at his like placings and how hard it was for him to make the games and all that stuff. And I think he's fit enough now that he can do the same thing he does at semifinals, but to make the top 20.
So you do have him in the top 20. You don't think that these first two could get him? No, I mean, he's 75 points again above Oldest. He'll do better on Oldest on the weightlifting for sure.
And Oldest is in the same boat on the intervals as he is. I just so like scroll down. Like I think who is going to beat him by 75 points? That's what.
Well, actually, it's more than that, right? Like Nick Matthew, Quant, Sprague, and I mean, I don't like he may get closer to that top 20, but down to the 20th. But I think I'm kind of agreeing with you on that one. Elise Carr, Rodeo. I think Mertens can get top 15.
At the end of the weekend, I definitely think so. I think today's going to be his worst day because Sunday is going to be CrossFit-y stuff. There might be some deadlift rope climb workout that he's going to bomb, but other than that, like he should be great.
Yeah. Derek, same thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I could actually see him doing a little bit better on intervals than what John is alluding to. I mean, I know he's small, but look, we're looking at 18? Is it 18 burpee box jump overs at the 48-inch? You think back to semis, even with the weight vest, and didn't he have the top score for the burpee box jumps with the weight vest?
That's not because he was better at burpee box jumps.
Was it because of the pistols?
Yeah. No, he was very fast in the ring muscle up complex, did every single one unbroken, and then his pistols were faster than everybody. He had 30 seconds more to work with every single interval. Everybody brings up that burpee box jump over workout to talk about this. That's completely different. Completely different. That's literally who is the best at the gymnastics to have the most time. They were all moving at the same speed. Nobody made moves on the burpee box jump overs. They were all, it's just who could get there first. And then they were all moving at the same speed.
Those pistols were so fast for him.
Yeah.
Just like the sandbag. Just like the sandbag yesterday. Like he can move so much faster.
His workout is a dead sprint. There's not really a strategy to it. They're all going to go 21 box jump overs unbroken. Right? And then it's a 15 cal row. He ain't making up ground there. And then it's burpee box jump overs over a 48-inch, and that's going to take him longer to get over that than it would
Yeah,
most
sure.
people. Like if it's fitnessy, it's different. But there's no strategy here. It's just who can move the fastest. It's a sprint for everybody. Like not like an all out sprint, but like we're going hard sprint.
Yeah, moderate sprint.
Uh,
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle on the 5K for sure. 5K ish.
Yeah.
4.5K.
Yeah, 4.5. Yes, that. So I brought that story up yesterday. Here it is again. The Adam Jong. It shows 2.81 miles. It's a 4.5 plus K run instead. And the person that sent me this also did the community 5K yesterday, which is the exact same course. He also used Strava, and he had another way, like some type of foot pod type thing. They both came back at a 4.55K. So when we see everybody doing the 5K, it's not quite a 5K. So don't feel bad when you see these guys go run out and probably break 17 minutes, which is going to look ridiculous. I mean, it's 10% shorter than what it really should be. So
I hate that they don't do accurate things like that. We think we're going to get an accurate thing, but I mean, I suppose you could definitely just like pace 4.5 to a 5K. It wouldn't be hard to do that. I mean, it'd be some math, but it's not nothing Halpin can't do in 10 seconds. So it's,
yeah. What Scott Hall, what's with the elevation gain though? I don't know what's going on with that. I've now seen two Strava images like this, and somebody's confirmed it. So I don't know if Strava just doesn't know what it's doing with the elevation side of things or what, but I do think that it's not the full 5K. Looking at the times, if you told me that Sam Dancer is going to run a 19:04 5K, I start to question that. Dude's fit, but not sure he's that fast.
He's a big man.
Will Ant make the next cut? It's probably one of the best stories if he does.
Yeah, it would be a pretty epic story. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know that much about him. For me, he's just kind of been been laying low, so I'm not real sure on that one.
Yeah, he got over here in a week, and he had a story on, let me see if I can find it here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here. I don't have the audio on, but he's
got his subtitles.
Yeah, he's here on his own.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have anybody in his corner. He basically just flew over here as fast as he could. And but shout out to Max L. Hogg and Training Think Tank, because it sounds like he's kind of helped him out and kind of helped him, coach him a little bit and support him best he could when he's there. So I mean, the dude is killing it. Love to be able to see him make it into the top 20 and make the best of this. He should be great at this 5K.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll be great at intervals too.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think he's going to make it?
No, I think he'll be last place in the total.
Oh man.
Like I agree with you 100%. He should be great in the 5K, but what is great? Like fifth, sixth? I don't think he's beaten Oldest. I don't think he's beaten Lazar. I think he'll probably be around where Roman is. I don't think he's beaten Adler. So, and James, I don't think he's beaten James. So let's say he gets fifth, sixth. Okay. Sixth place, and then intervals, you can give him another sixth place. So that'd be, I don't know what the scoring table is. Do you have it in front of you, Brian?
I do.
What sixth place would be?
I did bring it up here. So you do see the scoring
85
table.
points. So it's 170 points, and then he gets last place in the total, and I'm willing
80 points.
You get 80, so he gets
80,
even less.
okay.
Yeah.
So a 160, and then the last place in the total will be 0. And like I maybe somebody's weaker than him, I would be shocked. I think it's almost a given he's going to get last place in the total. Oldest might be weaker than him. Oldest isn't very strong, but
Yeah.
So go to the leaderboard again. Let's just count 160 and see where that would put him.
398.
398. And
Yeah.
so you go up to the top 20. No,
No,
went too far. Yeah. I'm just seeing like what they would have to do to get ahead to get 398. Oldest would have to get 120. Moritz would have to get 100, which he's definitely going to do because he's going to be fine in the total, fine in the interval. Like it's not. All these guys would have to have 3 bad events, and Oldest is going to get 85 points on the 5K alone, right?
Mm.
So I just don't see it happening.
If Medeiros doesn't have the gas, like if he's truly struggling on the conditioning side of things, it seems like that's what we've seen him not do well on.
No, and that could be the outlier that I have no idea about, right? Like that's Justin should do well on all of these events. Even the total, that wouldn't be his strong suit, but he would still get like 10th, right? So Justin's the outlier that I can't account for. I have no idea, because Justin normal, he wouldn't have a shot. But if Justin's, running at semi-slow speed, then yeah.
Yeah, the problem is you have to find somebody that he can push out, right? Like he can do
That's
well,
what I'm saying.
and he has to go leapfrog. He has to find 40, 50 points on somebody in their top 20, not even just above, not Sprague, Sam, and Nick. Like he's got to find even more, which
And the way today's set up, it's not like he can have 3 great events and they'll have 3 bad events. They're all single modality. If you're bad in one, you're probably good at the other. You know what I'm saying? So like it's very hard for an athlete to be bad at all 3 of these events.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's so set up where you're going to be good at least one of them.
Yeah. There you go. Luke Van Leeuwenhoeken. Derek, Will. What about Will Morad today? I'll stay out of it so John doesn't get mad.
I think he's actually going to have a decent day. I think he'll do quite well at the 4.5K. The total, I think he'll be, 8 to 6. Let's say 6 to 8, somewhere around there, 8 to 10 maybe. And then I think he'll do well on the intervals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good day for him. I think
it is.
I'll be curious to see how he does on the 5K. I know he's been training for a triathlon, so he has definitely the endurance side of things. So I think he will do well. I don't know if he has this top speed that he needs to keep up with a Yellow, with a Sprague.
Right.
But I think he'll be up there. He'll have a good event there. The Olympic lifting, I think, again, he'll be a top 10 type guy, which is good to keep moving him up. And then intervals, that'll probably be his worst finish today, from what I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah, it should be a pretty decent day for him.
I don't know. Intervals is such a weird event. I have no idea who's going to be good and who's going to be bad in intervals. I really don't. It's such a I don't have any idea. I'm just hoping my pick's okay, but like I'm taking a risk on the women's side too for that workout. I've just got a feeling and I'm hoping it's right. But for the women, but I have no idea on that one. But yeah, Will's going to be great in the 5K and should be fine on the total. Like it's not going to be, Will's going to be fine.
Our boy Jason Watkins, leader of Heat 1, he's all lubed up. He's on his way. So his car was leaking some oil. Had to get that all fixed up so he can get back. He looks like he's in like what's a 1980 Honda or something like that.
1990 prelude.
Okay, close enough. On the women's side, we talked about it last night. Emma Lawson looking really strong. She holds a 19-point lead over Alexis Raptis, 20-point lead over Laura Horvath, and 27-point lead over Alex Gazan. After the day, where do we see this shaking out? Can Laura make up enough ground on the lift to catch what I would assume Emma and Alexis will do well on the first two?
I think I think Emma and Laura will be 1 and 2 at the end of today, but I think I lean that it'll still be Emma on top, but the points, like, I think they'll be within 10 points of each other. I think Emma Lawson is a better runner than Laura, but I think they'll have the same gap between each other on the lift than they will the run. So say Emma gets like 3rd place in the run, I think Laura will get 15th. And then Laura gets 1st place in the lift, I think Emma will get 12th. I think they'll have the same separation. And then the intervals is a chalk up, but like I lean towards Laura on that. So I think they'll be 1 and 2, but they'll be very, very close to each other. And then can you pull it back up so I could see where 4th place is? Because Alex and Alexis Raptis are relatively close too, right?
8 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's really those top 5.
I think Alex is a better runner than Alexis, right? I'm not sure on this. I don't know them.
I feel like they're probably going to be about the same. Like, I don't think there's going to be that much separation between those two. But
yeah, I mean, it will be interesting. They're kind of in the same boat to me. So it'll be funny to see who comes out on top. I feel like one of them is going to be bad at something we did not expect. We know Alex is not the best lifter, but I don't think Alexis is like this great lifter either. So it'll be that race will be real fun to watch. And then Ariel will probably just get like 5th or 7th in everything and then be ahead of everybody. So and we won't talk about her. That's what'll happen with that.
I was thinking more about that 2 lift, 2 attempts per lift. That's going to be a lot of risk in this right now. Like, you have to hit near your top, especially if you're someone like Alex on the snatch. Like, you can't just go safe because your safe is 28th.
I don't know. It depends. I think, she might be conservative to maintain her position because, like, say she goes big and she misses, and then she's stuck with her first weight.
Right.
And then
it's tough.
She's in 4th place right now. That's insane. Like, she's doing so good. I don't think she thought she would be this high. So like on that lift where you already know it's damage control, would you go big because you're in 4th place? Like, you risk taking a 27th by going big if you miss, right?
But even going comfortable, right? Like that you're confident in, like, instead of 28th, she gets 24th.
I don't know. It depends. Maybe 18th.
I think if she goes for her 1 rep max, I think she gets 18th. And the only saving grace for her is that she gets to combine it with her clean and jerk, which is much better relative to the field than her snatch. Her snatch is terrible, and then she'll make up some space on that. I mean, she's one of the lowest. Like, when you look at the combined leaderboard of semifinals, and you add it
I put all of those people there, though, together. I don't think one of them is stronger than the other. If you were 185 and below, I put all of you together. And it's just execution.
What was she, 165?
She was, I don't know, 170.
Yeah.
I think because that's just a missed lift. Like you know what I mean? Like, if you're 185 and down, I put all of you together and we'll see who executes on game day. If you're above 185, then you're in the next tier. If you're above 200, you're in the strongest tier. And then I have my opinions when we get to the strongest tier just by how you look when you did the lift, right? So it's not like her semifinal snatch, she's this and every other girl is this, like, so she's going to be at the bottom. I think they're all grouped into a tier, and then she could be in the top of that tier. It's just a matter of execution.
Yeah. Catching up on some comments here. Steven Flores, do we not remember Emma Lawson on event 2 of the semifinals? She smoked that event.
I've explained this before, guys.
Yeah. Alex Peters, we talk about who withdrew for the women yet. Yeah, it was Ellie Turner. She's out. Kelly Baker is in. LDY 2742, the way Alexis moved in Helena, she might do really well in the intervals. Might. I don't.
Yeah. Logic would say yes to that, right? But I don't have enough confidence to call it. You know what I mean? Like it's so much different. A bar muscle up and dumbbell snatches are not box jump overs and rowing.
Right.
So but yeah, you would think just who can move the fastest, and she was very fast at Helena, especially in that last round. Like her dumbbell snatches were fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, logic would say yes to that, but it's just I feel like it's just a crapshoot on that workout. That workout alone is going to be the biggest shakeup in the Heat app, because I think everybody's just going to pick. I don't know who they think is going to be, and I think
they're all
going to
pick
differently.
My guess is Emma Lawson will get the most of votes, just because of how well she did that. What's that?
Just because she's in first place?
No, because everybody will remember the semifinal event.
Oh, you want to guess who I'm picking for that workout? I bet you can't pick it.
You got to save it. Save it for after. We'll be coming back after the 5K, and then that'll be our show for that. Kyle Landis, Hinshaw raved about Gazan's engine. I'm assuming that translates well into a 5K. Derek, do you agree with that? Hinshaw said that Gazan had one of the best VO2 max.
The best he's ever seen is what he said.
Is it the best ever? Okay.
Really?
I didn't know if it was
in a CrossFitter.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it would translate well into that test.
I will say though, like if she does not, so I agree 100% that if you have a high VO2, that's how good your engine is. Like it's not. That's what it is. We test my VO2. I bet it's not very high. But if she doesn't win the 5K, which I don't think she will, but like say she gets 5th or something, then that VO2 max number is not the end all be all. I feel like people hear that and they're like, oh wow, they're better. Their engine is better than whatever, right? I don't.
There's something different though. But he's worked with Haley before, right? And Alex Gazan, if he said it's the highest he's ever seen, then it's higher than Haley's. So, yeah,
Haley. I would pick Haley
every
10 out of 10 every single time on running. Haley's the best runner in the whole entire CrossFit field, men and women.
Yep.
Right. So like that VO2 number is not magical, is all I'm saying.
That's a very good point. Here's a question. Sarah, rookie of the year, Yella or Bailey? 1 point between them right now.
It depends on the end of the weekend. Sorry.
At the end of
that
today.
answer.
How about today? End of today. Looking at the 3 events today.
I know everybody thinks Yella's gonna kill this 5K, but I mean Bailey might kill it too. Bailey's got a great engine as well. And none of them are gonna kill the total. So it's like I feel like they're all gonna be close. I feel like they're gonna be close again.
I know.
Neither one of us had like a very memorable moment. Yella's best moment is still getting beat by Patrick Vellner, passing him in the run just to get passed again. That's his best moment so far, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Bailey was really good wasn't he really good in the gymnastics one?
Yeah, he's 3rd.
Yeah, I would say that's Bailey's best moment. So far he's had the best. I remember his pullovers looked very, very pretty. So I would lean towards Bailey, but just because of that. But it's half the weekend. You can't really call rookie of the year till it's over.
Let's see. Did Ellie withdraw? Yes.
What's funny is Sydney gets first place in this interval workout. It'll be her.
Right. And like we talk about Yella and we're expecting him to do well in the 5K, but that means that Sydney would be at the very, very top, which she might be again, top 10 maybe. But you have Pat Vellner. I don't think anybody's saying Pat Vellner's in contention to win the 5K, right? So that 800-meter run at semifinals does not translate into a 5K. That's a way different race for these people. Um,
Well,
see.
yeah. How did Emily Rolfe do? And how did Lazard do?
Right. Like they did well. They
And Aldous.
they didn't kill it, but they did well.
Right.
And again, it's a machine. Running down that machine is way different.
But what I'm saying is, Pete, the people who killed it aren't going to be the best runners,
Right.
because we know the best runners and they were good, but they weren't killing it. Does that make it like it's almost a reverse? The better you are at that 800-meter run does not translate 1-for-1 to a 5K.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. RJ Van Veen training. What about Sydney Wells for the 5K?
So me and Brian have we disagree upon this greatly. And Derek, I feel like you're going to lean towards Brian, but go ahead, Brian.
I think she will do well. I don't think she will beat Emily Rolfe. I don't think she'll beat Danielle Brandon.
I think it's laughable to put her in the conversation.
You have her outside. You think you're worse than 50, bottom half or top half of the field?
I think she finishes bottom 15.
Ooh. I think you're crazy on that one.
No, I know. But I think you're crazy for talking to her in the same sentence as Emily Rolfe. So, she'll probably get 10th and be in the middle of what we think. And then nobody's right. That's typical, And if that happens, then I'm like, yeah, I was low on her, and yeah, you were high on her, right? And that's fine, right? Neither one of us are right. But I say bottom 15, and you say top 50. You say top 10. Is that how you want to roll?
I think she'll be right around the 10th. Like 7th to 10th is kind of where I would expect. Anything better than that, I think that she overperforms. Anything outside of that, she's a sprinter then for sure. Derek?
I think she'll go. I'm going to split the difference. I think she'll do 10 to 15th. How you like that?
That's the ultimate hedge bet right there.
Listen,
right. We're playing
we come back on after the 5K.
I feel like this is like the Price is Right. Like you just took a dollar more.
She gets 21st. It's going to be like my Colton win call. Okay, it's going to be glorious.
Gray, Rolfe will win the 5K hands down. Is it a lock? Like I'd love to. I wish Tyler was here to know what percentage are picking Rolfe. I have to imagine.
I bet over 50%. I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Sarah Brandon was my original pick in the 5K, but she's underperforming along with the others. There's a lot that are doing that. I did want to bring up because I was curious to know. I know it's not the same. It's back. You had a ruck on Rogue Invitational, Danielle Brandon, Gabby Magala, Matilda Garnes, who has been cut, Emma Lawson, Annie Thorisdottir, Laura Horvath down in 9th. So, I think Laura is probably a better runner than most would give her credit for.
Beat Ariel Lowen. That's a big name.
Yeah. Alexis
Raptis. That's a big name.
Yeah. That Alexis has to do better in that than Laura. Otherwise, I think Alexis slowly gets caught by Laura.
It's already going to happen.
She needs to get as much as she can in this 5K in intervals. Because
is Alex Gazan? Did she go to? She didn't go to Rogue, right?
No.
Alexis Raptis is in the battle with Alex Gazan and Ariel Lowen.
Yeah.
Okay, I know y'all. I know you want to talk about her because she's in 2nd place right now, but she's in a battle for 3rd place with those two girls. That's who she needs to beat. That's who she needs to look at. I would leave Laura alone. It's not going to happen. I know you're ahead of Laura right now. It's not going to happen. Don't try to pace yourself off of Laura.
Yeah. Yeah. Emma, Alexis, Alex, Ariel all need to beat Laura. Like if you get beat by Laura, you're toast. Like you probably already are, but you got it. This is one of those events that
that's fair. Okay. Yeah, 100. That's a great point. Yes, 100%. If you don't beat Laura here, you're not going to beat her
at the end of the weekend.
Competition.
Yeah.
Because this is a place where you can beat Laura, and there's a lot of places where she can beat you.
Yeah. Elise Carradeo, Abby Donut, said she loves running and is most excited for the 5K.
Is she in?
Yeah, she's in. I think.
Where's she?
Did she? Yeah, 28th.
Woo! Skin of her teeth.
Oh, there she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So she gets to do it. She gets to run it. So yeah, again, she's one of the smaller athletes, so she could run through that. All right.
Let's curse at her. Get better than 30th place.
It's a good no. No. I mean, let's just start down here. No, Sydney. Alexia? I have no idea. I'm going to say no. Obviously.
It's because you have no idea.
You have no idea, so you say no. Love it.
Miss Donut, I think she's fine. She'll do well. Caroline Stanley, I think she'll be all right. Amanda Barnhart's good. Shelby Neal will be fine.
Colin Brander.
No, Colin Brander's better at running than Olivia. I don't see anybody.
There's no Spiegels in the field. I ran into Stanley Spiegel this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
On your run?
Yeah.
On your run?
Yes. When I was running, she was right outside of my hotel, and I didn't see her until I had passed her. But and then I looked back, like I got to my hotel, I'm walking to the door, and I looked back, and I'm like, that's Danny Spiegel, and I didn't say that out loud, but she was like ran right past her, and I didn't think anything of it until I looked back. She's smaller than I thought in person. I know everybody's I expected this giant monster that would eat me, but no.
She probably thought the same of you. She's like, "Oh man, there's John. I didn't even realize it. He was running so fast. Jeez, he's faster in person."
She's what did she say? Her head's focused on bigger things. I don't even know why she's here, because she's got more opportunities to deal with.
She's got the sponsorship.
I think she had a tier.
things.
Yeah, I think she's here because of tier, because she was all tiered. She was all tiered out on.
Did she have the bright green shoes, bright yellow shoes?
Yellow, yeah, and yeah. But I thought it was funny. Like I saw that she's here. I don't know. Anytime you see somebody like that, you're like, oh wow, like you shouldn't expect to see them. You know.
I do think that's true. Like everybody talks about these women, how they're just like these massive women, right? Like, and you see them in person, you're like, okay, like you're definitely fit, but you're not some like giant that is most likely to put on regular clothes on the street, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, most of the I get that with so I feel that way about the women way more than I do the men, because the women, I don't know, the men, like I know all their height and weights. So like I know they're all basically the same size as I am. So like when I see them, I just expect to see, around my size, right? Obviously the outliers are a little bit different, but the women I know their height and weights, but it's not as relatable. So it's always, you look a little bit different than I thought you'd look,
Yeah, I mean, I made that comment yesterday about Ella Unger. I was like, oh, she's on the smaller side. And then you look up her weight, and she's like 150. Like, okay, like that's not some tiny athlete. So, Stephanie M, saw you, John. You look small in the podcast, but you're in fact yoked.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but
I think it's a slam on your camera. I think you just need a better camera. I think that's all.
Well, listen, this computer is about 10 years old, and I'm going to keep using it. This is my 1990 Prelude.
All right. The rest of the day. So the teams are starting off the morning. The individuals, it's a shotgun start. They're all going at the same time. So 9 a.m. to 9:55, the teams are taking on some event. I don't know. And then 10:10 Central Time, they start out in North Park. They'll run around the RV park and Quan, and then they'll head back in for their 4.5K. And then we'll be back right after that around 11 o'clock or so Central Time to recap the 5K and get John's picks on the intervals. Speaking of picks, It's time. Men's 5K.
Oh.
John.
I have Lazar.
Hmm.
I think there's like 3 or 4 guys you could pick for this event, and they're all great picks. It's who finishes on top is just who you like, who you think has the edge, and I think Lazar has shown that he can run with Ricky like every event we've ever seen them. He won the toe to bar 1.5 mile, twice event. He won that event, so I think Lazar has the edge on the other good runners in the field. So I'm going to pick Lazar. I really hope Adler gets top 3 in the run and the lift, because I think that would be amazing.
Yep.
And I think it's possible. Adler's really, really good at running. But I'm rolling with Lazar.
Derek?
I had Lazar as well. I think Koski's going to do well as well on that.
Koski? Okay. Yeah, I'm on the Lazar train. Like he's not going to do worse than top 5, like guaranteed. Like
Right.
is,
Yeah.
like you could go with Sprague, you go with Oldest, go with Adler. Like
I think you're taking like a heart pick if you pick those guys, though. Like
Right.
you're from Latvia if you're picking Oldest. You're you just love James if you're picking James.
I wonder
the
how
other
many
guy that you
people.
said?
I wonder how many
Adler.
people are in Latvia playing Heat 1.
I don't know, his family. I mean, Tyler's probably got the statistics on that.
All right, on the women's side, I'll start. I'll take Emily Rolfe.
That's why he wanted to start, because
Exactly. Now we just
take
look like we're
Emily Rolfe.
agreeing with him.
Yeah, I don't see it. Same reason for Lazar. Like of the women that I think could potentially beat Emily Rolfe, they're not here. Like Christy Aramo is a great pick. O'Connell is a great pick. Tia is obviously a great pick. But there's Holta. There's no other women that can keep up with Emily Rolfe that are here. So unless somebody takes a step up, or they've been running, or it's some girl we don't know about, I think she's the obvious pick. Yeah.
Derek?
I agree.
Scott Hall, I think, might be last place. He's picking Mertens and Kerstetter.
Mertens is not going to get last place, so there's a possibility that he does better than somebody.
I think Braun gets last.
Yeah.
Braun and Olivia might be holding hands, finishing that together as a show of support.
Ooh, that's a good. Who do you think wins between them, Bronislaw and Olivia?
I think Olivia does win.
I do too. Man, those 400 meters on Helena looked rough for him. He just looked like he was lumbering the whole time, and I was like, "Come on, man! It's 400 meters. Get out there!" And he's just, I gotta go pick up my big calves. It's just,
that's gonna be an ugly one, and I think Olivia's been working on it. So I'm gonna go with Olivia over Braun on that. Lucas Senendiz, Savan podcast, which I think you were still on last night, alluded to the fact that Medeiros has an injury, but quickly said not to discuss on air. Anything you can speak to, John?
No, Savan just said he was wounded, so that can mean many things.
I mean, he did fall off his bike, so I mean, people have been saying that maybe he had, hurt his sternum, bruised a lung, or something like that. I mean, he went hard. If you have a handlebar mark on your pec from falling, you went down pretty hard. So that could be it. Don't really have too much. Travis Hoste and Danielle Brandon. 2, I think, good picks. I think Danielle, has a better shot of doing better than Hoste, but I've not been impressed with what I've seen with Danielle so far. Morehead 5K, again, top 7, something like that. I don't see him winning it.
He's a great runner, and he's been working running. I mean, it's not a bad pick. If that's who you want to roll with, then roll with them. Again, I think there's like 3 or 4 guys and girls both that are going to do well and it's known that they're going to do well. And then we haven't mentioned Gabby McGowan. Gabby McGowan is a great runner. She loves running. And no, she's not going to beat Rolf, but after Emily, I think it could be Danielle Brandon, Gabby McGowan, Emma Lawson, and there's probably somebody else I'm forgetting. But like those
or that we
three
don't know about,
are a toss up in the order. After Emily, it's just Emily's just probably a tier above.
Yeah.
So it's if you want to pick those people, pick them.
Elise woke up and chose violence this morning. Lazar and Donut. If she lets me down, she's gonna punch her in the nose. Fikowski beat Tia, but not Briggs.
How
does Fikowski do? That was 2017. Fikowski
those
was
are
right there.
Those are different years.
Yeah,
because he beat Tia in the run swim run in 2017, and he won. He beat Briggs wasn't there. It was one swim run because that's why Briggs wasn't there because it was swim.
2016.
2016 is where Sam Briggs beat him, but Tia wasn't Tia at that moment.
That's a long time ago. Renata, I have the same picks as Spin. You better be right again. We'll see. I mean, I'm on fire right now. We'll see if I can keep it up.
I don't think this is the event where I make up ground.
Great.
I'll put it like that.
Braun doesn't even try to run. Just starts out with a hot walk.
He's just going to mall walk it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Teams are on right now. Individuals start in about an hour. We will be back right after that for a recap and a look ahead at the intervals and the weightlifting event. Thanks for joining, guys. See you.